Hello, welcome back to Records of the Grand Historian. So today I want to take a closer look at Paris. In a recent video, I drew out the face of Isis, Marie, the Virgin Mary, the Virgin Isis here with Holy Child. And I might paste that on before or after this video, or it might be separate in my YouTube list, but it's also in a video called L'Enfant, and the designer of Washington, D.C., because he came from Paris. And so that was a story about the connection between Washington, D.C. and Paris. So here we are, and we can see Isis's head. Let me just make sure. Turn this way, turn it that way. Actually, her knees, I could take a heading, actually. Here's kind of where her bottom is. It's going to be rough. There's a circle here, though. Do you see this? It's really similar to in Washington, D.C., where the womb of Isis is acknowledged. So, I don't know why my ruler's not working. Come on, ruler. There we go. Okay, that's 187-degree heading for her legs. Not sure what that means. So I'm going to get to the Christ Child's head. I just want to take a look here at this circle. This is Disneyland. Now, if you told me there's a picture of Isis in Paris and there's a circle in her womb that's filled with Disneyland, I might not believe you. No, I probably would. But I would still be surprised. I didn't even know there was a Disneyland in Paris. Look at this. It looks like a giant circle. Like a circle of the giants, like I've been looking at. Let's, see, this is what happens. I get on these sides. Now I have to see these headings. See how this is not a diameter? We see this again and again in Astana and everywhere. This looks like a V heading here. Let's look at this one now. Does this look like a chalice to you? Maybe I've just been looking at too many chalices. Let's take this heading the other way. Sometimes I don't recognize the heading going one way. 319. See, that just looks like a chalice to me. And, of course, the womb of Isis is the chalice. That's what it is. Yeah, I have to take a still of this. I'll come back and draw that out for you in a minute. All right, okay, so we have Disneyland, we have, looks like an aquarium, so we need to have water in the womb of Isis, right? We don't want it to be dry in there. So we have SeaWorld, Sea Life. And we have some shopping. We have a very carefully laid out chalice. Or this could also, you know, be like a blue lotus type of thing. Chalices, oh, this is a chalice inside a chalice, because chalices have this little, you know, heading right here that helps the stem meet the chalice, which is the same as the power symbol. The stem is Orion, and the chalice is the Trinity of Suns, as seen in the work of Wayne Herschel. Here we have it again. This shows you, I don't want to be too graphic, this is a little bit like a sex act. This shows you the penetration of the stem of the chalice into the chalice. So I was kind of thinking maybe we would find a giant obelisk here, because we have obelisks in the womb of Isis in Washington, D.C. I'm not familiar with this landscape. I bet you in Disneyland we have some kind of obelisk. There is a lot to see here. They have a star lake. Let's count. My kids are like, I don't want to count all this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the number of the Cathars. And this is the number that was just on the stele. So this is the Christ number, and I guess we would find a Christ number inside the womb of Isis. I do believe there is a sacred a sacred Christ energy, and I'm not sure what all the details and distortions that happened, when the Romans created the Christian religion. Yahshua did not create the Christian religion. A lot of Christians overlook that fact. Yahshua was not Christian. He did not say, go forth, be Christian. There's a reason why Disney is here, and if I do the gematria of this, we will learn a lot more. There's gematria in everything, especially around anything Disney. Look at this shape. You know what? I am going to say, I'm going to just go out on a little limb here and say we have a fetus in this womb. This is the womb of Isis. There's a fetus in here. Look at this. Look at the head and the body and the legs and the placenta. We see the same fetus except for it's turned the other way in Astana. So that's kind of exciting. You get to come right with me on this discovery. I'm going to come back and draw this. Sorry to make you wait while I just save these images. Here we go. So what I'm just copying and print screen into my editing program. I use this old one because I know where all the buttons are, and I'll come back and draw this, and then I'll time lapse it so you don't have to watch it slow. That's nice, huh? Oh, wow. Are you amazed? I just don't know if I can get used to all this. So here we go. Let's just back out a little bit. I'm going to have to draw down this far. Look at, she needs to sit like this. Here's the lineup of her body. I'll show you her face again. She's looking up. She's holding this child. So this is a time lapse. She's holding the child, and she is pregnant with the child. And we see with the Statue of Liberty that Statue of Liberty is subtly pregnant. This is the same theme going on. The letter B is pregnant. That's why. So even as it is on a healthy pregnant woman, and the child here in this womb that we can see is attached to the upper back wall of the uterus. That's the best place for it to be. You don't want the placenta to be covering the birth canal. Let's take a heading of the birth canal. I think it's this way, because it's out the stem of the chalice, because the chalice, that's how she got pregnant. It's 139.63. I'm going to have to look at the number of that. I don't have anything profound to say about that off of that. The other thing that I do want to say, though, about this womb is look at this line going right through the child, the fetus. It's at 6.61 degrees, and this, it's not a diameter. It's I think it's called it's called a chord, if I can remember my geometry. It's 1.9. That is the diameter. It's in other places it's the diameter, like in Astana it's the diameter, and on the breastplate of Isis in Washington it's the diameter of the breastplate. Here it's not a diameter, but it is a raw number. You can see the 1.9, and it was a 6.61. Looks like just a slight movement of the mouse will change this. Oh, it looks like it could be a 6666. Oh, sorry to make you wait. I'm going to have to take a still of this too. Cannot make this up. Cannot make this up. So, I'm just going to speculate about what this means, this line across the child. It could be asking you to measure it, could be showing you where to measure it, but in Asthana we see an artificial insemination that comes in from to the side of the egg, and we know that it's important. It's not just a random decoration on that, because the heading actually goes somewhere, and I think it goes to the, I can't remember offhand where that goes, but so this could be saying immaculate birth, immaculate conception, you know, and that makes a lot of sense. So the chalice symbol here, and in Washington, D.C., the phallus symbol is Orion, and that just tells you where the DNA came from. I'm going to have to look in Washington, D.C. for an artificial insemination clue, because it's just very interesting. So anyway, that's speculation. Let me back out, and I'm going to have to, oh, it's so time-consuming. I have to zoom in and take a whole bunch of stills and piece them together in my graphic program so that I can get the resolution when I look in. Okay, so let's look at the Christ child's head. Here we are.